Good evening and welcome to Be More Super Live. I'm Brian, your host, joined by my co-host with the most in an odd location, Dan. Dan, tell us where you are.
I am on the M40 in a travel lodge at a services just outside of Oxford. So my apologies for my camera quality tonight, and my apologies if the audio drops out or there's a delay. But this weekend I am managing the Mercedes Bar at Silverstone Racecourse, and I'm going to be here for the next 4 days, living in this essentially what you can see. The walls are here. You know what I mean? And there you are. You see, I've already frozen already. The It's been an absolute shambles today. I've never known anything like it. As you know, Brian, I'm quite a direct person. I really enjoy things that are fluid and there's a process for everything. And I arrived at the course track to get my fancy lanyard so I can get into places so I can do things. And they've full named me as well. They've gone for a full Daniel Fudge as well, which I really enjoy.
Get that.
Yeah. And when I got there, they went, "Oh, Dan, you need to go and pick up your accreditation, the lanyard from." And that was a 4-day camel ride, and it's July, right? So this flannel's all I've had on. Now there was a thought process as a sidebar that went through my mind, thinking it's July. And I put this shirt on and went, I might wear a vest underneath it. But then I was going through that thing, Brian, right? Because you and I are both in our early 40s now. And if I start wearing vests under shirts, I feel like that's an acceptance of turning middle-aged, right? and I was like, I don't know if this is something I want to do, but I put it on, and I'm glad I did, because when I got there must have been 300 people in this queue, and it took me 2 hours. And during that time, sideways rain, and I was piss wet through. I was absolutely drenched. And then I got there, and then there was so much work to do. The amount of graft that goes into these events has blown my mind, because I just thought it was a track with a couple of stands where you put some people in the bars and get some agency staff in. But they've put these marquees up, there's entertainment, there's TVs, and it's a whole 4-day event. And because I'm in one of the showbiz bits, I'm on a corner called Stowe Corner, I think it's called, which is just where one of the big straights where they come tearing in and then have to slow right down to go around the front. So Mercedes have paid for that pitch, and they've put up this building that I'm now in charge of. It's a great experience, don't get me wrong, and it'll be a great window into how the other half live. But there's even a Formula One car on the wall of this building, just stuck up on the side of the wall, and it's looking like I might meet Lewis Hamilton. So not a bad weekend, right?
Do you know what, Dan? We need to get you one of those big microphones. You can wear those headphones and walk around like that guy does in the pits. I forgot his name. He's amazing. I love it when the stars sort of blank him. And everyone's like, "Whoa, you don't blank him. He's compared to David Attenborough. Do you know what I mean? He's sort of royalty. In the pits. But have you seen any famous people? Have you seen anyone walking around?
Not yet. Today is just setup day, so I feel like tomorrow's going to be the showbiz day, and obviously race day, which is on Sunday. So I'm just this has been me all day, and because where I'm working is in the middle of the track, I have to get a shuttle bus from, let's say it's an oval. It's not, but let's just assume it is, and I'm down here. My car's here, and I walked up to the top to where my car was, but no, I had to then walk back 35 minutes there and back. So 70-minute walk to get turned away, because that's where all the cars are being laid up. And I had to get a shuttle bus that went around and across a bridge that then took me around. And then all of a sudden, that's when the sun decided to come out, and I've just burnt the entire side of my face right now. So that's why the lighting is as it is today.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind sunburn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, it's all fun and games, and I'm sure that tomorrow you'll be hobnobbing it with all these rich people. I would just love to see you hobnobbing it like with these rich people in there, like five grand suits and everything like that, going, "Oh, Penelope," and you're like, "All right, cocker." Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like,
Yeah, I think I was. I think I've convinced myself to try and not call everybody duck or something stupid like that, because I find like the more upper class that these people are, the more I have to really go into my tradesman accent. You know what I mean? And go, "You all right, duck?"
well, I'm sure that we're going to have some stories for next week. Talking about next week, so everyone watching, we've been away for the last week because we've had our holiday bobs. We've been enjoying ourselves and sunning it. But we're back, and we're back with a vengeance, and we've got the guests coming out of our ears. So next week, for anyone, and I want everyone to share this. I want everyone to get behind this because I've watched the film. It's an amazing film. We've got Kim Spearman on the show. She plays a lead in The Last Breath from Signature Entertainment. This is Julian Sands' last film that he starred in before sadly passing away. I think it was last year, which was shocking to hear. But this film, if you don't like sharks, oh, watch it, because I hate sharks, and this is just confirmation on why we should stay out of water. And there are bits in this that really does take your breath away, hence the name The Last Breath. So next week we've got Kim on the show to chat about the movie, her career, and everything like that. And then after that, we've got another guest, which I'm really excited about. So when I was a kid, like you, I'm sure we went to the cinema, and there was one film called Free Willy, which went on to make, I think, 3 films, or it may be more. I know what they're like about trying to make as many in a franchise. But we've got the original guy, Jason James Richter, that played the part of Jesse in Free Willy 1, 2, and 3, and Neverending Story Part 3 as well as other things. His career is propelled, and he's still acting to this day. So I'm really excited to chat to him to find out what it's like to be a child actor in Hollywood, and also continue as well, because there's a lot of child actors that don't, and there's a reason behind that, and to see from his perspective. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm really excited. And then on the 31st of July, for all the Viking fans out there, we've got Rollo himself, Mr. Clive Standen. Excellent actor. He's been in so many things. He was in that Boadicea with Jesse V. Johnson directed, that we've spoken to. But he's in a new film called Clear Cut with Alec Baldwin, Stephen Dorff, who I think is an amazing actor, and Tom Welling from Smallville, who played Clark Kent.
Yes.
And Clive is leading this movie. The trailer is epic. I'm really excited to watch this film. It's my kind of film. When I watched the trailer, I was just thinking to myself, you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait for it to come out. So that's a few of the guests coming up, and we've got more to announce as well. So watch this space. Remember to hit subscribe so you keep up to date with all the news. Talking about films, while I was away, I watched a film, and I was quite surprised by this film. My girls wanted to see it. It was Inside Out 2. And
right, let me hang on. Let me. I've not seen the first one. Am I right in thinking this is the kids' movie where each emotion is manifested as a little monster or something?
Exactly. Yeah, in your head sort of thing. And Inside Out 2 follows the girl, and she goes through puberty, and she's going from high school, she's going from a normal school to high school, and anxiety comes into play, which is great, and it's so clever from a parent's perspective and from an adult's perspective. I think what they've done with this movie is just hit it on the nail. They really have. And I will admit, I did have a few tears. It is quite moving. But Anxiety is voiced by Maya Hawke, who I was with a month ago. And it's just a great film. So if anyone's got any kids out there, or you just want a fun film to watch, watch Inside Out 2. It's a great movie, and I cannot recommend it more than I have, because it's a great watch. But talking about great watchers, I'm not sure about the next one that we're going to talk about, and
Okay.
I tell you why. And you tell me that I'm always positive about things. I'm always seeing the good.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite franchises of all is Hellboy. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Right.
Ron Perlman, for me, is my Hellboy. Those series of films, 1 and 2, I just think were just done so amazing. Obviously, the budget was there, the story was there, and then we had Neil Marshall on the show, and he directed
Yep.
the next reincarnation of Hellboy with David Harbour. He
And he
often
hated it, didn't he?
the studios got too much involved. They were making him cut things that he didn't want to cut. He couldn't reshoot things, and he ended up wanting to take his name off the movie, which is quite shocking, isn't it, for a big budget blockbuster movie? But again, people forget that Neil Marshall has directed so many great films like Doomsday, Soldiers, and Game of Thrones. But yeah, so we're going to have a look at this new film. So the new film is Hellboy, the Crooked Man. And when I watched the trailer, and you haven't watched it, when I watched the trailer, I thought to myself, I understand now. Because this film was shot in record time. It seems to not have much of a budget. And you just look at the guy, don't get me wrong, he's an amazing actor, the guy that's playing Hellboy. But look at how Hellboy looks compared to how he's looked in the Neil Marshall film and the other one.
Something in these hills. Something haunted. Evil. It smells like death.
How do you know that?
Dark things called dark things.
I heard tales about him all my life. Most just called him the Crooked Man.
We've got company.
All your friends, they all gonna die.
So, impressions. You've never seen that before. So, what's your thoughts on it?
It kind of looked. It looked cheap, but it didn't look like it was going to be terrible. But there was too much occult stuff in there. You know what I mean? There was too many religious references and things like that. And obviously, he's Hellboy, so I know there's going to be some in there. But I like it when he's effing up the monsters and he's, you know what I mean? There's not one punch thrown in that. When he's got the big claw and there's always that. Because if you think about the David Harbour version, there was some absolutely wonderful set piece scenes in there where he smashes up those massive trolls and, some great bits. But I can see why the director didn't want to put his name on it. You can.
Ian said, "Take my money," and I don't know if that's relating to Hellboy or just as. I mean, I don't know, Ian. Do you want us to take your money? Because we're more than happy to. But I presume he's referring to Hellboy because again, you know what? It is. It looks like it's going to be based more on the comic. And the problem is when you've got a big studio that's put all this money into it and made a film like the one with Ron Perlman and David Harbour, I think anything else is always going to be compared to these big budget, versions. And Ian's just put, it looks like it's holding back. It's holding a lot back, but it's gone down the gritty route. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, as you said, the cult section. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Crooked Man, that scene where his neck goes, for me, Yeah, that's a bit scary. But
I like the monsters. I like him when he's fighting the monsters. You know what I mean? He's
oh,
kicking the crap. But I also like the dynamic that sometimes the humans have to use him in order to do something, and that they kind of
yeah,
recruit him. It didn't seem to have any bit of that. It just seemed like a big red geezer that and in all of these movies, nobody seems to make reference to the fact that he's absolutely hideous looking. It
yeah,
didn't seem to get talked about enough for me. Like even when he walks in a room, no one goes, what? You know what I mean? But it just, I didn't really like the ponytail, I must admit, either. But, I get it. Like, some things are different and some things are supposed to look different. It did have an indie feel to it, which
yeah.
doesn't always mean that it's a bad thing.
No,
So it could just be a good story. But I tell you what it reminded me of. Do you remember that? What was that trailer you showed us a few weeks ago with Russell Crowe, where he's
Exorcist. Yeah.
yeah, it kind of looked like that a little bit, didn't it? Like if you swap Hellboy out for Russell Crowe, you go, oh, it's pretty much the same movie.
Hey, I tell you what, if you're in London, which you are, well, not at the moment, but you can go and see Russell Crowe and his band performing in London. He's got a night
Really?
with Russell Crowe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was a pop star before he was an actor, wasn't he?
Do I want to see an overweight man in his 50s be a rock star?
It's Russell Crowe. It's Russell Crowe.
I know.
It's Gladiator.
I kind of feel sad when.
Do you know what? I've now remembered one thing I wanted to chat about today, because the first pictures have been released for the new Gladiator movie, and they look epic.
Yes.
With Pedro.
Yes.
So what I might do is add them on for next week as a quick add-on. But what has Ian said here? So let's get this in so we can all see it. I've always thought Hellboy was quite light-hearted, almost a comedy, but this seems fitting as he's a demon, yep, and it should be dark, and he's obviously suffered to get to where he is. I think this is more about the suffering and the journey. Oh, very deep.
I don't give a toss about the suffering, though. I don't want that. I want him to smash up the trolls.
Yeah, the trolls. Yeah, the trolls with the big teeth. No, the little flying things with the big teeth from the second one. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think when Hollywood is involved, I think sometimes what can happen is these films can get a bit fluffy, a bit over the top, a bit, a bit. I can't get the word, sort of separated from the true material. So obviously Hellboy is based on a comic. So what Hollywood would do is take that and just Hollywoodize it. But this looks like it's more from the comic. So let's see. I mean, again, trailers, it's down to one person to edit these things together, and people get, an impression of it. And he's just put, I'm sure there's going to be loads of smashing. What was the loads of smashing? That's what Dan wants. Loads of smashing.
What was the budget? All the smashing.
Do you know what? The budget. I'm not sure. I know it was quite a low budget. I know it's nothing compared to what Hellboy that Neil Marshall directed, or Guillermo. I can never say his name. Directed with Guillermo. But I'm not sure. I know it's a lot less than what the others were doing it for. But yeah, I mean, maybe the editor for this trailer's just done a rubbish job, or not shown us the best bits. It's hard, isn't it? It is hard to get a good trailer. But I tell you what, we've got a wicked trailer to see in a moment for a film that I am so excited about. And one of the stars I was chatting to the other night, I think it was last night, Vanessa, and sadly she's going away for the summer, so she's going to find out in a couple of weeks if she's got time to come onto the show. And Julia's just put, hi Bryan and Dan, hello Julia, so hopefully she can come on to the show because she's amazing. She was in The Expanse, and I've had her on the show before. But yeah, we're going to talk about a film that's come out today, and I haven't seen it, and I'm sure you haven't, because from the sound of it, you're too busy hobnobbing it and trying to get stuff sorted out for tomorrow.
I was in a car park trying to get a lanyard, so there's no watching of any movies getting done right now.
And the movie we're talking about on Netflix, one of the most anticipated movies of the year sees Eddie Murphy back as Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop. I want to call it 4, but it's Axel F, which is a mouthful to say in itself. I'm not sure if anyone else watching us right now has seen this or is looking forward to watching it. If you are, please comment and we can bring your comment on screen. But are you excited to watch this film because it's got all the originals in it?
You just referred to it then as one of the most anticipated movies of the year. If this is an anticipated movie of the year, then we're in for a terrible year. There are a number of things that just concern me about this movie. One being the god-awful, woeful Coming to America sequel that just put me off watching this movie, right?
Yeah.
So, that was so bad. And you kind of go, Christ, Eddie, did you really sell your soul that badly? And that was awful. And I hope this isn't in the same vein as that. The second one being that they keep finding ways to shoehorn Serge, the character Serge, into the films.
I love him though. I love him.
I know
you may hate him. I do like him. I do.
He smacks of like, hey, the people like that. Let's do more of that. And if you've ever seen the Family Guy episode where they're in a room and he goes, hey, BoJack Horseman, do BoJack Horseman. It's kind of like that. Like they like this. Let's do more of that bit. Like when they ruined Rambo. Like the first movie is this guy who's going through PTSD and really needs looking after. But then they really like the way that he shot up a load of people. So let's do more of that. Do you know what I mean?
Dan, you were talking about your own perfect movie. You love smashing. You like.
Yeah, I want to see Hellboy smashing up trolls. That's what
the thing is, Julia's
just
just put there. It's not as good as the original ones. So I think because of the gap,
surprised. It all looks so geriatric.
I know, but the gap between the originals and to this one is massive. So I think that anyone watching this needs to separate themselves from that nostalgia from the originals because it's not going to beat the originals. We were living a different life back then.
But isn't that the question though, Brian? Like, if it's not as good as the originals and it's for,
then why?
Who is this movie for? What is the point of this film? And bear in mind, right, we know that Eddie Murphy has retired his laugh. He's gone on record saying that he retired laughing like that, which was a mainstay of Axel Foley's, entire shtick. So, like, do we need a fourth movie? Do we need a fourth one? The third one was trapped in its own.
I am loving this because next week I'm going to say, right, Beverly Hills Cop. And you know what? I'd love it if you turn around and say, you know what? It was all right. Yeah, it was all right. I was quite...
I was exactly the same about Roadhouse. To be fair, I sat on this show going, "Who wants Roadhouse? Why are they making Roadhouse?"
And it's getting a sequel.
I actually quite enjoyed it.
And it's getting a sequel. But yeah, so I'm going to be watching this over the next few days. But we have got quite a few films to get through, Dan, for future interviews. But I will be watching this. Another thing I'm excited about is Henry Cavill starts filming Highlander in Scotland in January.
Ooh. Anything with Henry Cavill, I'm gay for. So I'm all right.
Have you seen the Guy Ritchie film with him in yet?
No, I haven't got round to watching it, and I really enjoyed
He's
the one
amazing.
with.
It comes on Amazon Prime, I think, on the 25th of July to watch. But I'm sure you can watch it now somewhere. But it's such a great movie based on a true story, which I think's incredible because what goes on, I'm sure, again, Hollywood has exaggerated it a bit. But yeah, so let's talk about... Oh, and I forgot to say, Beverly Hills Cop actually got 83 score with Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah. And I think Julia is excited about Henry Cavill as well. I hope he's got a thermal kilt. They're obviously filming in Scotland for a reason, to be all authentic. But I can't wait.
What, they're filming Highlander in the Highlands. That's quite on the nose, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, with Hollywood, you'll be amazed that they're not filming in Australia or something ridiculous like that to save money.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and find out, and we should go up there, Dan. We should go up there, get some kilts, and just walk across the hills. I've never been to Scotland. And just
it's cold. It's cold, and it's the only time you will hear the phrase. I think you'll find that's legal tender, but that's normally Scottish people in England when you try and get rid of a Scottish £10 note. Yeah,
and everyone looks at it going, "What? It's monopoly money." And then another film that I'm really really excited about that we were just talking about was that I was chatting with Vanessa. She plays a part of. If I remember rightly, a tour manager. And this is Josh Hartnett. So Josh Hartnett, for me, I think is a phenomenal actor. I think this movie for him, because it's been quite a quiet period for him. He hasn't been in anything massive. He was in, was it 30 Days a Night?
He was in 30 Days and Nights. The most recent thing I've seen him in was the episode of Black Mirror with Aaron Paul.
Right.
I thought he's excellent. God, he's absolutely captivating in it. And then every now and again, he kind of turns up in a movie and you go, "Oh, it's Josh Hartnett. Oh, God, he's good. God, he's a good-looking bastard." I hope I never have to stand next to him. It's not good for my self-esteem.
Do you know what? I stood opposite him on the London Underground once, and he was in a baseball cap, and I was literally on that day. It was quite funny. So in the morning, I was opposite Josh Hartnett. In the afternoon, I was opposite Wayne Sleep. So it was sort of a great day. But this film, I think is going to be is sort of reprise into Hollywood, because these actors, they have these amazing films and then they go quiet because, as I've always said, actors and Hollywood, it's like the stock market. They only focus on the actors that will make the most amount of money, and then you've got actors like Josh Hartnett that gets pushed aside. This film, on the other hand, great story. It's from a great person that's got, is it M. Night Shyamalan? Shyamalan. And he's got a great track record of making amazing movies. So let's have a look at the trailer. I don't know if you've seen the trailer yet. This is the final one. And this trailer just makes me want to watch it right now. And I'm trying to see if I can try and get a screener of it to watch.
Okay, Dad.
What's with all the police everywhere? I'm not supposed to tell. You know the butcher? The freaking nut job that goes around chopping people up? The feds heard that he's gonna be here today. So they set up a trap for him. This whole concert, it's a trap. They're watching all the exits, they're checking everyone that leaves. There's no way to get out of here.
I've never felt this before. I feel out of control.
Shoot left. Where should I put her?
Thank you.
This individual that we're searching for won't panic. He's realized he can't get out. He's going to try to cause chaos.
Dad, what are you doing? You're acting weird.
This dude is next level insane.
What's happening?
I think you're looking for me.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Sorry.
How you all doing? You having fun?
Come closer.
What's going on, Daddy?
Open the goddamn door!
I can't get away. I can't stop. I'll just do this one last one.
Enjoy the rest of the concert.
how amazing is that trailer? You see, whoever edited that trailer needs to speak to the Hellboy people and say that's how you make a trailer, because that is literally on point and that looks like a good film.
Yeah, it does. I feel like obviously, there's going to be a big twist because it's M. Night Shyamalan, right? So we know it's going to be a big twist at the end, because at the minute now, I'm sat here thinking, because it doesn't actually specifically say that he's the butcher, right? You know what I mean? But I feel like there's going to be something in it. But the problem is, when you get invested in a character like that, when you're watching a movie, you can kind of pick out, like, they're not going to survive. They can't survive. They can't get away with it, because there has to be some kind of moral compass at the end of the movie. So you're kind of thinking, I like this character. I don't want it, but I suppose he has to. You know what I mean? Like if you've caught up to date with The Boys, for example, and Simon Pegg's character and what he gets into, and the way that folds out, you're like, yeah, I guess that's the way it was always going to go, to be fair. But yeah, that actually does look really entertaining. It does look really good, and I kind of like the 1% Ariana Grande concert with all the kids with the phones and stuff like that. You're like, yeah, this looks. I love watching Josh Hartnett be the awkward dad as well. Actually, I find quite funny. That's and being 6 foot bigger than everybody else. That actually looked really good. I'm really excited about that.
I'm to be honest, I'm really excited for Josh as well, because this is going to be a standout performance. And remember, any film that is in the cinema is automatically eligible for an Oscar, because to get an Oscar, it's got to be at the cinema for a certain amount of time. But I can't wait. It's something about Josh. I think, 30 Days and Night, I thought was an amazing film. Creepy as out and just a great watch. And this, that's the one where he's in like Iceland, and
there's the people underneath the house pulling it,
like
dragging everybody down.
But it's not like a traditional sort of vampire. Yeah.
30 Days of Night. That's what it's called. 30 Days of Night.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think they tried to make a sequel or another version of it, and I'm just devastated that it was the way it was. I just wanted to add as well, anyone watching that is a Goonies fan, Lisa Downs from Life After movies that we've had on the show has got a Kickstarter at the moment. So if you go onto Google and just put in there Life After the Goonies Kickstarter, you'll find the link. Go in and support Lisa and Life After movies to get this documentary made. There's some great rewards as well. I've already ordered mine, which I'm really, really excited for. So you can get like a crew badge, you get the Blu-ray and everything like that. So she's already had time with Sean Astin and obviously Richard Donner before he passed. But yeah, it's live. It's only got about 9 days left on Kickstarter. So it's all or nothing. So if it doesn't hit it, it doesn't get made. So it needs to be made. It's like at 60% at the moment complete. And when we say 60%, I think there's only like 18,000 left to raise. Something around that. And I'm sure that people out there can get on it. So Kickstarter, just put in Life After the Goonies and you'll find it. Go and get yourself a really good reward. They've even got, do you remember the Viewmasters? The things that you held up to your face and you clicked it. So Lisa's actually spoken to the guys at Viewmasters that worked on the Goonies. And what they've done, they've brought out a limited edition, the exact replica of the ones that you would have got during the Goonies. So you can buy a Viewmaster with that. And you can even buy an opportunity to watch the Goonies in the Goonies house in Astoria.
Can you imagine a Viewmaster now with the kids and what's available to them and their attention span? You would go, here's a Viewmaster. You'd put the click in it. You'd go, wait. Toy played with, done. That's it.
Yeah.
And the kids are like, what? This was a toy that you played with, Dad. What the effing Jeff? What in the worldwide of sports am I? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's shocking that technology has come so far that kids don't appreciate,
a picture of the Grand Canyon.
yeah. I used to love them, but the thing is, though, being in the UK, we had to find some sort of light, and it's never
Yeah.
sunny really in the UK. So I can imagine it's going to be a lot nicer abroad. So just to remind everyone, next week we have got Kim on the show from The Last Breath. Please join us on that. Please share. We want to try and get as many people on there, and then you can have your questions answered live to her. And then obviously we've got Jason from Free Willy, and then we've got Clive as well from Vikings, and he's coming onto the show to talk about his latest movie, Clear Cut. So, and that's on the 31st of July. So I'm really looking forward to those. Really looking forward to those guests, and I'm sure there's going to be more in the pipeline. There is, but I can't say yet who. But yeah, hit subscribe, follow us, share with your friends, and show the love. We're so close to 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're like, I think it's like 60 odd. So every subscriber matters. I should have that on a t-shirt. Every subscriber matters. And I tell you what, if we get up to 3,000, I'm going to do a giveaway, Dan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a really good giveaway, and I mean a really good giveaway.
You're not going to give away any of your
£100s.
own tat that drives your missus nuts in the house, are you?
No, they're like bargaining chips. They are, but I'm gonna do a giveaway that's worth hundreds of pounds.
Okay.
So for anyone
Let's
watching in these states, it's a lot more. So so 3,000. As soon as we've hit 3,000, I will do a giveaway. To end all giveaways.
Is it £3,000? Can we
No,
get?
it's not £3,000.
We'll get each subscriber to give us a quid, and then we just pass it to the 3,001st person.
Yeah, call this number. It's 090. We make loads of money. I can't believe people enter those. Do you know what I mean? Win £10,000 in cash, and then you phone this number and it costs you £2.50 a go. You think how many people call these numbers? So this place in Derby, because it's always based in Derby, right? Or this PO box in Derby, they must be raking it in.
Must be. I remember getting my backside handed to me by my father once because I rang up a 0906 number to win a to win a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade cabinet game, and. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I did. I didn't win it, surprisingly, and it cost about 12 quid, that phone call, and my dad went absolutely nuts at me. So I've never called one since.
Yeah, you've got to be careful what you're calling, but there's always a free way if you look on actually entering. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoy your Travelodge experience.
Thanks, man.
It's not Travelodge where they guarantee your night's sleep. That's Premier Inn, isn't it?
I don't know. Lenny Henry's probably lurking around somewhere. I'll find out, see if he's here, and then that'll let me know which one it is.
I've got Andre there saying we need our union back, mate. It's all right. Andre, I play on Xbox on DayZ.
Right.
And yeah, he's a good lad. They call me their union rep because I keep everyone in line. Because they're like a bunch of girls, honestly. They really are. But yeah, so I'll be on before you know it, Andre. But you know what, Dan? Thank you so much. You're a star, because even though you're on the M, whatever it is, in a travel lodge, you're braver than me. I thought about maybe, because I'm off to Turkey, aren't I, soon? Maybe we could do a live from Turkey.
You won't be able to speak. Your mouth will be this big. You'll have a new head of hair.
Botox, facelift.
Yeah.
I would just get a random man to come on the live pretending to be me.
Yeah, just go, hello, good evening, and welcome to Be More Super, and it's just some bloke with a similar accent. In fact, no, just get a Turkish fella.
Turkish
man,
get
like one of those proper like stereotype ones that you see in cartoons where they've got a bit of a paunch and a flat top haircut. You know what I mean? Receding at the front and go, hello, welcome to Super Podcast.
I've been here too long. No, that's excellent. Julia, thank you for watching and supporting the channel as always. It's so appreciated because even though we do this for for our love of it. It's nice that we know other people come on and join in and get in with the conversation. And if you've got any suggestions, please comment on whatever platform that you're watching this on.
Topless podcast. That's what she's going to suggest now, something like that. That's it.
Julia would never suggest that. She is classy. Okay, maybe a glass of Prosecco, or a Pimm's. Look, it's frozen. Is he frozen, or are you just smiling? You were just smiling for a very long time. You wasn't frozen. You were just smiling for a long time.
It's this Charles Wi-Fi. Get me Lenny Henry on here. Get him in. Get him in.
Right, we bid farewell. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And we'll see you next week at the same time, 8 o'clock UK time, 12 noon PT. That's Pacific time for anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, with the wonderful Kim Spearman for The Last Breath. And get your questions ready. Cannot wait. Right, Dan, look after yourself. Keep safe. Tell us all about your adventures next week. Andre's put, see you, mate. And look after yourself. And I'm going to end the stream right now by pressing this button. Adios.